Here we are again. We're preparing and we're live. Hey, welcome Ward Wrestling Live. We're here again doing another awesome show with another great wrestling mind in our country. And this guy's right here in our backyard in Central Florida. He's up in Oviedo, longtime FAWA board member, East Area director, longtime coach of Team Florida, and a dad of a couple wrestlers. So he's kind of got all aspects of the sport down, and he's here with us today, Coach Stephen Price. Hey, Coach, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. First of all, congratulations on your new house.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I saw you popping the stuff they give you at closing, and
yeah, it was fun.
It's always fun, man. Well, good for you. Well, first things first, obviously, not the off season we planned.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a crazy off season trying to figure out what to do. Everyone trying to stay safe and keep everyone interested in wrestling when you can't actually grab anybody.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm not familiar. How many children do you have?
So I got two kids, my daughter and my son, but we always have probably around a group of 5 boys that all wrestle at the house basically all the time.
Nice.
So it's
what they've kind of been doing for the off season. Have you been just letting them kind of play around in the garage, lift weights, exercise things, just to keep up?
Just keep them busy, keep them going. Main thing, they're 9, 10, 11 years old, just trying to keep them off of Fortnite.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing,
You're lying. I've got a 2 boys, 14 and 11. Fortnite has kind of went away a little bit because they're playing the Call of Duty now, but he's got so my wife's cousin, he has kids too, so they're now they've made, now they're on there with the speakers, and I can hear like 1 a.m. no, go that way through the door, watch the door. I'm like, oh, Call of Duty,
same thing here.
So yeah, man. Hey, we just got Charlie Morgan on here shouting you out, Coach Price.
Charlie Morgan's great. How you doing, Charlie?
Yeah, man. Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, I said I wish we had more people like him around this wrestling community. He's really doing it really good down there in South Florida.
Yeah, I've had the honor to speak with him and his brother. And then I spoke with like Coach Morris up there in Georgia, and I was like, man, those 3 guys in the same room, you'd be energy like just.
Oh yeah.
It would be just incredible. Yeah, it was definitely fun meeting those guys and getting a chance to talk to them. And,
great guys.
Just having fun. So, well, first of all, I know that you're real big with FAWA and putting on all those FAWA tournaments and kind of doing your thing at that level. Talk a little bit about you are the East Area director, but I also know that you're working on some things down there with Charlie Morgan in South Florida and putting on some tournaments down there with him.
Oh yeah.
So tell us about the different things we can expect, God willing, we come out the other side of this and what you guys are doing.
Well, obviously everything being limited right now. Last year I started bringing a group of kids up to a few tournaments. We hit one called the Bear in Tennessee and a few other new way tournaments that are great. And Charlie's part of that organization. So I know that he's going to have some, different flyweight tournaments going here. We're looking forward to that. Through USA Wrestling, the last thing that I did for FAWA was, I think maybe early March, we had the USA Youth Duels in Oviedo at the Aquatic Center, which was pretty fun. Had about 5 teams. And we plan on, doing some more, through Central Florida. And like I said, trying to get down south there with Charlie and just trying to, build a community and wrestling and, get everybody wrestling regardless, what organization it is, but, just get everybody on the mat and just kind of trying to unite everybody as a state.
Yeah.
That's really what we're trying to do.
What do you think? So obviously we were quarantined. We all know that. There was we had to stay home. And then they kind of just swung the doors way open and they were like, okay, everybody,
Yeah.
right? And then everything's kind of jumped up. We've seen some gyms open up. I know you've been cautious. I've been cautious, but there's
Yeah.
some that have said, "Go have at it, kids." Um, what do you think it looks like, or what do you think it's going to look like? Do you think we're going to continue to gradually get back into
I
gyms right now, or?
I do. I know with, this past few days, we've seen a really high spike. So I'm being optimistic about it. I work for Orange County, so there's really no end date that we've been given that, we're going to be able to open the gyms around here, through the schools. But it definitely looks optimistic. I think hoping by end of July, early August, we can get some more activity, get some kids on some mats, either some rumbles or some tournaments, something to get them going.
What do
Because
you
I know, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a delay
No,
sometimes, so I jump
that's all
over
right.
top you. No, I was just going to ask, what do you think? When do you think the confident? Obviously, there's always people out there, and there's been people since day one that are like, "Hey,
Hmm.
this is all a farce," and they're out there business as usual, and they're just on that side of the fence, right?
Yeah.
But,
Hmm.
but for the most part, there are cases, and it is happening, right? And
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
part of
I
the
mean,
school, so you see that. When do you think maybe your confidence or everyone's confidence will be like, okay, you know what, I'm ready to give my kid kind of that chance. Let them go to a gym and roll around a little bit. I mean, I know I see camps open up and stuff like that, and
yeah.
good for them, and I wish them all the best. I was just not ready for that.
Yeah.
But what do you
And
think?
and that's kind of the same stance that we've, been taking. Because regardless whatever my confidence level is, my wife Jenny's got a different
Yeah,
point of view.
I have one of those too, and that's kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
So I could be full gung ho, and if she puts the foot down on it, we're gonna follow that marching order. But I really, talking to other people, I'm really looking forward to August, and I'm really hoping that stuff's gonna be. It's not going to be full bore for a while, and we all know that. It's not going to be like it was right before this happened, where you can just drop in at a club, pay a drop-in fee, and go wrestle. I think those days are gone for quite some time. But as far as being with the club, training and stuff like that, I don't see. Probably August would be the first that I could even see that happening. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's next week, but.
Yeah, I agree. And like I've talked to some. I just for parents, for me, like I told my wife, I go, for me to sit here and do this show, it's fun.
Mhm.
I would love to, and I could do this for a long time, but I want to kind of get out there too and kind of do these in
Yeah.
person and kind of sit with coaches. But for the most part, I can deal with it, right? I get that anxiety for my kids. They want to be out there
Mhm.
doing their sports and seeing their friends and doing their thing. So I think my anxiety comes from like just feeling bad, kind
Yeah. Yeah.
of
Same here.
stress. So, but it's cool. But I know that you've done a lot with Team Florida, put Team Florida
Mhm.
together. I believe those are the teams that's the team that you kind of take around to all the big national tournaments. And I
Well,
think you're right. You did Fargo and the junior
well,
national.
I didn't do Fargo last year. Been Fargo in the past. There's been obviously it was canceled this year. It was a big blow to everybody. Last year's I did the camps at the old facility. The Team Florida that I'm more involved in is the youth ages, K through 8. So Mako does like a great thing, at every Southeast regionals, every nationals, for for the kids. It's a great unity, and it's every kid from Florida that's there, even if they didn't travel with you, or you end up in wherever you're at, it's that whole Team Florida just kind of gets together. And I was showing my son the picture of all of us probably like 3 years ago, and it's like it didn't mean that much then. Now you see it, and you see all these same kids are still still wrestling, and they're down south all the way up to Keith Davis and them up in North Florida. it's a really good thing to see, you know. It's cool, you know. And then there's a lot of good people involved in it, you know, especially with the you know, the K through 8 is a little bit easier than to deal with than the high schoolers, you know. Their parents and stuff get a little crazier. So but yeah, the Team Florida thing is great, you know. FAWA has done a good job with that, you know. Like I said, USA, you know, national, Southeast regional is probably one of my favorite tournaments to go to. And just have all the boys and girls bond, you know, at those tournaments is a really good thing, because a lot of them, you know, being so spread out, they only see each other at like 1 or 2 tournaments through the year. And then when you bring them together at a big national tournament, when they're, even though that some of them might be in the same weight class or whatever, they're kind of competing together as a team instead of, you know, as a separate club, you know, against each other, you know, at like a, you know, a state tournament or something like that. So, you know, I really enjoy that.
I definitely could see. I know, like last year was our first kind of off season. I remember we went to the ECW kind of
yeah
where they do like those 8 tournaments and then they go into the AAU things. And
that's a great little, you know, kind of tournament that they have, you know.
yeah, we did those 7 weeks or whatever. And you know, like, you know, for the years, my son was like, yeah, my older one was like, yeah, I can't wait to go back, see kids I met last year, and kind of, so I can see where that comes in. I know you're a Central Florida guy. You're out there in Oviedo.
Yeah.
Youth wrestling, I mean, the last 10 years in Central Florida, I've only been involved a couple of years, and through this kind of learned some stuff, right? But where has wrestling come? I mean, with Osceola and with CFWA and with you guys up there in Team Florida, and now TK and all these groups opening up. Are you seeing a huge?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, you know, we're lucky in Florida. There's so many great coaches around here. You know, and these kids now, they have so much access to so much stuff online. I mean, go to Flow Wrestle and they can, you know, like my son and his little buddies, they're breaking down moves off of, you know, stuff on Flow Wrestle, and they're 9-10 years old, you know. When I was a kid, you had to, you know, order a VHS and you know, wait to get it, and then, you know, see stuff on it. And before that, you know, it was just through the books and stuff. But I believe these kids are at such a higher level now, these younger kids, and it's really impressive, you know. And then when you get real good supportive, you know, parents and coaches around them, and you get to see them just elevate to that next level, it's a really good thing. And Central Florida is doing really good. I mean, the whole Florida and the state is doing great, you know. And I mean, look, we just, you know, that Rumble on the Rooftop, you know, Pat Lugo, you know, you got to watch a Florida guy wrestle, you know, and had all the kids pumped up to watch him. And, you know, they got to see, you know,
he's the real deal, huh, man?
Oh yeah. You know, and then like Pat Downey was in Oviedo for a little bit. So, you know, you got to, you know, they got to see that, you know. So, I mean, you can definitely tell that, you know, it's going to that next level. And like I said, when you get to those youth national tournaments and stuff, you start seeing these Florida kids, you know, pop up in the finals, you know, and it's, they're always in the mix, you know. So we're definitely going in the right direction.
When do you, and I know you've been around this stuff for a while, when do you recommend that kids start maybe getting into some freestyle and stuff?
Well, so I was kind of brought up a little bit different. My first experience wrestling was freestyle and Greco. So I kind of think that, you know, you get biased on that. And, you know, I love folk style. So like with my kids, I guess I'll back up. I started my son too young. So he was, you know, he was around the mat when he was 4, and, you know, wrestling when he was 5. And, you know, and back at that time, I had that mentality like, oh, he's got to wrestle, you know, kids older than him to get better and stuff, you know. So his first year, you know, he spent a lot of time on his back, and there's a lot of long car rides home, you know. So and each kid's different though, you know. There's a lot of younger kids who take to it different, but you know, I like getting those kids, you know, into freestyle and Greco as soon as they're wrestling folk style. You know, it keeps them excited about the the sport, and, I also push all of our kids, my little guys to, play other sports too. I want them all to, experience, every different sport. And obviously I love wrestling, so I want them to come back to wrestling, but, we, yeah, I push them to do everything though, but I do like having them go freestyle and Greco, as soon as they start wrestling folk style. I'll do one folk style season, then boom, right into the freestyle and Greco season. It's almost like a different sport to them, so.
Yeah, this would have been my son's first off season trying it, so it would have been pretty cool. But he'll get his opportunity.
Oh yeah.
He's only 14, so he'll
Oh
get
yeah.
stuff going. So yeah, I mean, talk about now, not just being a coach, but being a dad. How do you separate that and do your thing?
That's a very hard thing and a scary line to walk. It's because sometimes you when it's your son, you say a little bit different stuff than you would to kid that you're just coaching,
Right.
and you kind of walk away and you're like, oh man, you got to go back and make it right, but I was lucky, I had 3 older brothers that wrestled, so one that was pretty hard on me, 2 that kind of were easy on me, so I tried to take both of them and both aspects and try to blend it into it. But the big thing is to try to keep the kids having fun, and as a dad, when you get too caught up in the wins and losses and not the development of kids, because I think that's the real big thing that happens as a dad is you realize that you have to develop kids, but then like, okay, well, we're not teaching them all just headlocks, so they're not going out there and just throwing headlocks and winning all their matches. We're teaching them all, the basic fundamentals of wrestling. And that doesn't equate to winning when you're really young, but it will once they start getting 10, 11, 12, but when they're 6, 7, 8, they go against a kid who just got a monster headlock, and you just want to tell them, don't worry, just, buy your time and you'll catch up to them, but it's hard being the dad. And I joke around with Coach Adderley, I always ask him, like, hey, I need you to step in here and corner, Logan whenever like a tournament and stuff, because I just got to step back. It's good to be able to step back and just watch and be a dad instead of coaching that whole time.
Yeah, and it's got to be, so you have a boy and a girl, so you're getting to see both aspects of the sport, and
yeah,
got to be pretty happy. How old is she?
She's 12. So
Oh,
she's 12. She's in gymnastics and volleyball. She probably got a better wrestling stance than most of the kids that I have, but she's been around wrestling so much, and I've been trying to get her just to wrestle, and she'll come practice, but there's nothing that she won't even practice. She hates the smell of the wrestling room now that she's at 12 and she's like that little girl. She hates the smell of the wrestling room, but she gets, I drag her all over the place. She's been to so many wrestling tournaments, so many practices, she knows all the boys.
Cool now knowing that by the time she gets to high school, it's sanctioned. So she'll get some bigger, fortunately, that's why the girls before her have fought for this. And so that the young girls coming up are going to get the opportunities they didn't, and that's awesome. Coach Morgan said Central Florida and Dade County equals wrestling fire. Billy McGee said very good coach. So get that.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, she's got to be it's got to be good for you and her. And is she kicking her brother's butt a little bit?
Man, he doesn't stand a chance against her, and he still thinks that he can, so he'll keep grabbing her, and she's still a little protective over him, but I've caught her sometimes, she'll snap on him every once in a while.
Yeah. I had a girl on yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but she was, man, an absolute stud out of Texas, Allen, Texas. She's the only 4-time undefeated girls state champion in Texas.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
She's up, she just got out of Army basic training, and she's going to be part of WCAP up in Colorado.
Oh, awesome. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. She said the same thing. She's like, man, go girls, go get it. Do your thing. She said,
well, I tell you,
girls can be
the girls, I've watched them the past few years, and that's what I've been saying, for years now, is the way to get to grow it here in Florida, this girl movement's great. Once we start getting some girls in colleges around here and stuff, get some girls programs, it'll open the doors for some boys programs. And like I said, Coach Adderley, with his girls, I'm around them all the time, and just their work ethic is, I mean, the girls listen a lot better than the boys do, from what I've seen. So
I mean, and Central Florida really, with what obviously what Adderley has done, and then now with Freedom over there building their
yeah
job with Lindsay. Yeah, it seems like Central Florida's got some, and I know South building something down there. And William Bell said, "Great job, Steve."
Bill's one of those crazy dads like me.
Yeah, I'm learning. I think I'm going to be. I'm really excited to get back into a wrestling as a parent, like at a tournament, because I think my eyes are going to see things different than what they saw before I started the show and kind of jumped into the quicksand. And I mean, I've taken literally, I went on to like NFHS, and I took the little referee course just to kind of learn stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I went on to USA Wrestling, and I did just 2 weeks ago, I did the bronze certified thing.
Yeah, those are so good. Those the certifications that USA Wrestling offers, the copper and the bronze. I think you can do the bronze online now. You used to have to go sit at the class.
Yeah, no, I did the bronze online 2 weeks ago, and I got to learn a bunch. I've got a notebook here somewhere.
Yeah.
40 pages of stuff I was writing down as I was going through and listening. And
they got so much information in there. And then it's, even if you've done it, once, like I recommend it to everybody, just go and do it, refresher, because there's always so much new information coming on. And I really like, the development aspect of USA, how they kind of break it down for the younger kids and stuff. So I try to follow that and try to learn whatever I can from, any of those USA, certifications that they're putting out there.
It was fun for me. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be able to get past the bronze certification because I don't coach, right? And at the silver, it's like you gotta videotape this and do this. And won't be able to do all that. But Bill Crum said Steve is one of the best Florida assets.
Oh, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Bill's awesome.
Yeah,
he was a great guy.
And it was nice to see some wrestling back in Chicago. Right, it was fun.
Yeah, man, we needed that. That was a godsend right there. We needed to, be able to watch some of that. And then next month, we got Camiso, Dake, that's on the 25th, and next month, Taylor and Downey, there's stuff coming back up. So it's gonna be positive to watch.
Do they have Lugo on that card too, or they need to get him into that card?
They need to get him on that card, man. He's definitely ready.
Yeah, man. And Iowa, what are they? They're just reloading now, right? They're like the Canes in the 80s.
right. And I think Lugo just got named USA Wrestling Athlete of the Week too for that win over Pletcher. So that's pretty cool to see when I saw that.
Pletcher seems like he's doing really big things too. I had I had the pit coaches on, and I know he's going to be involved with their program, and pretty cool stuff. I haven't got to meet him yet. I did have Lugo on with his boy Reyna.
Oh yeah. Tough kids right there, man.
And they were cool. They were fun to talk to. But man, hey, that's awesome, man. Thanks so much for coming on and talking
no problem.
Wrestling and doing your thing. And I've got some questions for you for the Central Florida stuff that we do here.
Okay. All right.
So I know you live in Oviedo. What am I doing? Oviedo. That's funny. All right. The Townhouse or Maple Street Biscuit?
Ooh. All right. So that's we're a family torn. I'm a Townhouse person. I'm going Townhouse on that one.
All right. Magic Kingdom or Epcot?
Magic Kingdom.
You don't like to drink around the world?
I do like that, but then the family.
Black hammock or habaneros?
Habaneros.
Universal or Hollywood Studios?
Universal.
The kids love Universal too, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, these are two good places. I'm torn too. Blaze Pizza or Lazy Moon?
I'm I'm gonna go Blaze on that one.
Yeah,
That's a toss up.
right, but it's a toss up. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Juan Arroyave says townhouse.
Juan's a great coach, man. Juan's a great person. Thanks.
Seaworld or Animal Kingdom?
We did the Seaworld passes last year, so definitely Seaworld, just because it's more fresh in my mind.
Yeah,
right now.
got it. Hey, Burger Fi or Culver's?
I'm a Burger Fi person.
Yeah, that place is pretty good.
Yeah.
Aquatica or Blizzard Beach?
Aquatica.
Sushi Pop or Yukihana?
And go Sushi Pop.
I love that place. They're open down in Winter Park too. Chef Chow is just an awesome dude. The Magic or Orlando City?
Ooh, some of these people are gonna get mad at me. The Magic, man, Magic.
Yeah, I prefer the Orlando Magic. You know, you grew up watching them.
Yeah, yeah.
I have been to one Orlando City game, and I have to say, as far as the fun aspect, it's pretty fun. You know, it's like being in the bounce house or something. You know.
Oh yeah. I love this game.
I had never experienced the flags flying in the end zones or whatever they call them behind the goals.
Yeah.
It was good stuff, man. Well, hey, man, I hope to get out on the other side of this and get to see you at the stuff and you know, just have a good time and keep doing your thing with the youth, and looking forward to watching your son and daughter do big things. And
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Time and share my link with anybody that you'd like to hear on here.
Yeah.
And they're all welcome.
Hey, I appreciate what you're doing, keeping this going. And thanks for having me on. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
All right, you too, bud. Thanks.